You know, there's a certain point where I get sick of being right. And back in January when this cove flu, whatever you want to call it, China flu, whatever we can say on the internet now without being censored into oblivion. When it first came out, I warned everybody. I warned people that the governments will force people to take the vaccine. No. Don't be silly. The governments would never force you to take a vaccine. Wow. Isn't this interesting? In Australia, of all people, and this is what I mean when I turn around, and I've got American friends that I play, Atlas and Star Citizen and stuff with, and they say to me, how's Australia going? And I say, dude, we're more screwed than you guys are. Don't worry. You guys are golden. We're done for. Australia, it's a sinking ship. It really, really is. It pains me to say that because I was born and bred here. My generations, my family goes back all the way back to the convict days. We literally, my families, my mother's and father's family, literally came over here on boats as convicts. I tell you what, my grandfather was alive. Even my grandfather was alive today. He would be shaking his head with how Australia is going right now. We are that badly done for. We have Labor who wants to go through and force communism on everybody. We have the Conservatives, and I use that term very loosely, or what we call the Liberals over here, supposed to be liberal. That they believe in things like freedom of speech and that sort of stuff as much as I believe in the Tooth Fairy. So, not real liberal at all. We have fines for people who are not obeying man flu, China flu, whatever you want to call it, quarantining. There was a girl who went driving with her mother to get her license, to get her hours up for a license. She went driving in the car with her mum and got a $1,600 something fine. Now tell me, what is the big difference between a 18-year-old daughter sitting in the house with her mum or the 18-year-old daughter sitting in the car with the same mother? What's the difference, right? Chances are, if the mother's got it, the mother's got it. And, people can sit there and go, oh, but the police department... No, they did know. Because when the daughter was arrested or charged or ticket written, she said, but we're literally just going for a drive for my license, to get license hours up. The police knew. And the only reason they went through and actually overturned that decision was because the media got involved. And the only reason the media got involved was because it was a woman. Had it been a guy, stiff shit. This is Australia for you right now. There's a reason why I don't cover Australian politics. It's boring, it's depressing, and it makes me want to go to America to live. But regardless. And obviously, we like to say that Australia is behind America. We're a couple of years, but this time we're ahead of you. Because workers may be forced to get COVID jabs to keep their jobs. Yes, that's right. You don't want to get that jab for that vaccine? Well, the businesses now are trying to line it up so they can fire you. They're trying to change the laws, from my understanding, and I have to do some more research into this, but they're trying to change the laws to get people fired if they don't get the vaccine. Now, people are going to sit there and make the argument, but it's killed people. We need to protect people. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a satire video that'll come out in the next week or two. And you guys are going to love it. You really, really will. But the problem is that if you give up, and I still need to WD for my chair, I know. The problem is that, as the saying goes, people that give up security for freedoms deserve neither. No, people give up freedoms for security deserve neither. I think it's that way around. Yeah. People who give up freedoms for security deserve neither. Those who desire to give up freedom in order to gain security will have, nor do they deserve either one. A society that will give up a little liberty to gain a little security will deserve neither and lose both. He who sacrifices freedom for security deserves neither. Thomas Jefferson once said that, a very, very, very smart man. And I really wish people in the world would listen when people like this say stuff like this. This is what he is talking about. People who go through and give up their freedoms for security deserve neither. And in Australia right now, if you don't get the vaccine in some jobs, and it'll start off at some jobs and it'll be all jobs, don't you worry. That slippery slope fallacy is it's a running downhill fast in Australia. But people in some jobs will be fired if they don't get the vaccine. Why? Because we have a medical industrial complex that wants to make money. They've spent a lot of money to make this vaccine, and by golly, oh gosh, you're gonna take it. Why? If you don't want it, oh, then you're just a bigot, right? That's how it'll go. Well, let's jump into the article. Enough of me ranting. Aged care workers are among, not all, among staff who may be required to provide or prove they've received the jab if they want to keep their jobs. We'll get into the idiocy of this later, but we'll just break down the article first. Aged care workers are among staff who may be required to provide that they've received the jab if they want to keep their jobs. Aged care workers may be required to provide they've been received a beer bug vaccine if they want to become available in effort to protect vulnerable Australians. Department Chief Medical Officer Dr. Nick Cutsworth says the federal government will also have to consider whether restrictions are applied to people dining out, travelling domestically and catching public transport if they're not vaccinated. In other words, if you don't get the vaccine, goodbye to your job, goodbye to your ability to eat out at restaurants, goodbye to the public transport, or goodbye travelling anywhere. You're going to become a leper. Welcome to the new Chinese social model, where at the end of the day, we're all living in an authoritarian nightmare because people are getting... And the worst thing about it is the people defending this situation, sitting there going on about, oh, but it's killed people. It's a virus. You're not going to be able to vaccinate it against it anyway. If you're able to vaccinate against a virus, what's the point of having the flu shot every year? Wouldn't one of them work? If it was a case of getting vaccinated and you're protected, okay, why do they keep insisting everybody gets a flu shot every year? Because the virus changes. It's like the virus is evolving. Oh my God, it's like it's an evolving virus that you can't treat with a vaccine. But by golly, oh gosh, those medical industrial complexes are sure going to cash in on that vaccine. So not only are you forcing someone to take a vaccine, the vaccine that you might take mightn't work anyway. It might protect you for a month, 6 months, 12 months, a year, 18 months if you're lucky. worry, we'll have another vaccine for you to run out and grab. We'll have another one that'll save you from the second virus or the third virus or the fourth virus. And before you know it, everybody's coked up to the eyeballs in vaccines. But don't worry, the medical industrial complex, it's made its money. They've cashed in. Ching, 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 ching. Throw me those bucks. Give us your money. How much is this vaccine going to cost per shot? $150, $200 Australian? Per shot, even if it's covered by the government. Guess what? Medical companies, they're still going to get paid. The only difference is the government pays them instead of we do. All these medical companies that are rushing to make the vaccine, they're still going to get all their money. I can't believe Australia sometimes. I really, really can't. But let's keep going. After linking a deal for 25 million doses. Guess how many people are in Australia right now? 25 million. That's a dose every person. They're going to vaccinate the whole of Australia. This is what I'm telling you. This is not going to be just some workers. This is going to be everybody. Everybody is going to have to be vaccinated or you're going to be a leper. You won't be able to go into a building. You won't be able to go into a business. You won't be able to catch public transport. You won't be able to eat. You won't be able to go and do shopping. You won't be able to go to work. You're going to become the new pariah just because you don't want to get coked up to the eyeballs with Bill Gates and Melinda Gates' foundation's lovely vaccine, which will have God knows what's in it. And even if it's not the Gates Foundation vaccine and some other elitist, the same elitist that believes that, that the world's population is just a little bit too high and we should probably go through and knock it down a notch. Yeah, Bill Gates believes that. And now he's making a vaccine to save the population. Sure he is. Meanwhile, birth rates around the world keep falling. It's weird, that, isn't it? I would expect it to be mandatory as you could possibly make it, the Prime Minister said. There is always exceptions for any vaccine on medical grounds, but that should be the only basis. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said he would work towards 95% of Australians getting the jab. Why? Because his friends who run the medical industry want to make that money. Bing, 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 bing. Show me the money. Everybody gets a vaccine. Probably won't do anything because the virus will evolve. But hey, show me the money. And then next year, there's a flu going around. Oh, imagine that. Oh, well, everybody, you're going to have to get vaccinated for that one now. The year after that, another flu. This is the new norm. This is the Australian new norm. Everybody vaccinated. Everybody has to get a vaccine for everything. But the medical industrial complex, they're swimming in their money bank. Morrison said he won't not be able to use jelly beans to get adults to accept vaccinations, a technique used on children. But he hoped the community would see the importance regardless of incentives. The Herald Sun understands that people working with other vulnerable groups, Australians with disabilities, could also be required to be vaccinated. But if it was only them, why would they be making a deal for 25 million vaccinations? Oh, wait, what's the... Let me have a look. Hang on there. Current population of Australia. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, my God, look, it's 25 million. Oh, my God, who would have thought? It's like they're getting a vaccine for everybody because they've just made a deal for 25 million. Thank God Australian population's not 25. Oh, well, shit. Yeah. Crap. Dr. Coates said the measure including immunity passports will be a part of the future discussions, but focus currently on securing a viable vaccine and encouraging uptake. There will be a strong public view that those who do not get vaccinated need to. Public pressure. There will be some sort of incentive. Stick. Perhaps, though, the current program includes no job, no pay, Dr. Conswood said. Looking at the specific things like people not being able to go to restaurants, not being able to travel internally, not being able to catch public transport. They are clear policy decisions that will need to be discussed, but there's no current mechanism to enforce the sort of thing. But they do want to change the laws now. Yes, after this came out, obviously small businesses are now claiming that they want to change the laws to make it so that they can fire people who do not get the vaccine. Yup. Welcome to the new norm. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to your authoritarian nightmare. George Orwell. It wasn't supposed to be an instruction manual, but by golly gosh, we made it one. Welcome to Australia. Freedom's out the window. Makes me sick. It really, really does. And don't worry, America, you'll be following. On the bright side, at least you got Trump over there. He's more likely to stop this than anybody. Maybe it's time I did move to America. I don't know. What do you guys think? Texas? Where's a good place to move? Apart from that, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How screwed are we in Australia? Also, what's a good place to move to in America? Somewhere Republican. I like Texas. I have a fixation with cowgirls. So I'm thinking Texas is probably a nice. So I can get myself a nice cowgirl. Then you better, she can sit there with a lasso and I can use it to tie her to the bed. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Obviously, guys, we'll be live streaming obviously after this goes up. So feel free to jump in, have a chat. Normally it's game related, but I can make exceptions for one or two. Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Smack a like. Obviously, it helps feed the algorithm if you leave a comment. So, we are being shadow banned on the internet because our popular opinions are not actually that popular with the YouTube algorithm. Although, people generally like my content. So, I don't know. Especially before they shadow banned us, people were really liking our content. But let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section. Guys, I will see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great night. Enjoy yourselves, everybody. And start suggesting countries or states to move to because I might be moving. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have a great night and enjoy.